Welcome to Change Your Funk to Fun with your host, Mary Mazur. Learn how your body, mind, and spirit operate, and learn how to access a sacred, powerful tool called PSYCH-K to assist you to ignite the wisdom within you to rewrite any limiting beliefs. So please welcome the host of Change Your Funk to Fun, Mary Mazur.
All right, welcome. I am Mary Mazur, and we are on the Bold Brave TV network. This is Change Your Funk to Fun. So welcome. This is a beginning of a 24-week series that you and I will be a part of, and I do welcome you to that if you do choose to come check in on a weekly basis. This is our first segment, which is really wonderful. Yay! So today, the topic we'll be talking about and the focus that we'll be driving in is to discover the power you have within you, okay? And this power is to unlock your heart, okay? And that way you get to open up your funness. Because I think many of us would love to be able to have more fun here, right? Instead of having things being hard and a struggle and difficult. So we will be diving in pretty deeply and in a fun way too, right? So if we can be in a beautiful, fun way here, we will do that. So relax. Get yourself a nice little drink if you like to, or something warm and cozy, and let's get moving. All right. So first, I will share a little bit about myself, who I am, so you get to wonder, hey, why should I be listening to Mary Mazur, huh? Well, that's a great question, right? I will share with you my story, my life, how I was when I grew up. We'll do a very short segment of that, and then where I am now, and then how I am so overjoyed right now to be able to share with each one of you. And I hope you feel that. And my role actually is I am an igniter, which means I am here to shine my light of love and light of who I am, so that you may recognize that you also are love and light too, and that you may start opening up and start asking yourself questions, start discovering. Ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here? You know, what is my purpose? How may I serve and share my gifts? This is what I help assist people with. Okay. So I was born in a family of 12. I'm number 11 out of 12 children. How about that one? Yeah. My dad was a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps. So I learned how to be tough. I actually was taught to put an armor on. And the things that I will be sharing, you might be able to relate to. Because most of us, especially listening to this talk, were born in the 20th century, which was a pretty dark time on this time in humanity and planet. It was one of the toughest times. It's the time when there were the most wars, the most deaths that happened. And then if you didn't even realize it yet, we all volunteered to come during this time to help make the massive changes that we're actually going through now. Yeah. This is our ascension rising. If you haven't heard that word yet, ascension, it just means we're waking up to the spiritual aspects of who we really are. And that's what I'm going to be here help assisting you with. Okay. So you can discover the power within you, be able to activate that power, access that power, and actually easily live in that way of that power. And that power actually is your love. Believe it or not. It's kind of funny when we get to keep things simple. But it actually is your love. And what that love means is your unconditional love. Okay. So this is the part of what we call your true essence. Okay. So with me being born in a very large family, I do love people. So that is one of my gifts here, is I do love people, and I actually do love humanity. But yet I was born in a lot of fear, and you might have been too. I was born right in the civil rights crisis for the United States of America in 1968, right when they were burning down streets. So at the time, African American people were standing up for their rights. And I was born in Washington, D.C., which is the central area, I guess you would call, of America. My dad wanted to move in there to stand up for their rights too, which I think was beautiful. But yet I was a little newborn baby, right? Newborn babies, we don't know what's going on in this world. No, we're brand new, right? Each one of us came into this life, into this world, brand new as a naked baby, open and full of love and full of life. And then guess what? Life happened to us. Oh, heck yeah. And actually life lives through us, which we will find it's really beautiful when you're able to rise up and remember who you are and begin to live in the flow. This is what we'll be helping you with. Okay. The key thing too is it's important to recognize and be true to yourself and to say, hey, what really happened to me, right? What did I agree to experience here and embody? And then the gift comes in is you get to change it. So the series is Change Your Funk to Fun. Okay. You get to change your funk to fun. All right, which we call funk because it's really nice if you can even harsh, traumatic, uh, difficult, challenging things that you go through. You can call it funk if you want to call it funk. I mean, maybe not the worst things that might have happened, but the things that maybe aren't so horrible, but yet are still frustrating you, challenging you, where you might feel limited, blocked, things like that. Well, this is what I get to help assist you with. And this is what I was called to do, which is really neat. And we'll be talking about the tool that I use that works very effectively and fast in just a little bit later in the show. But for right now, let's just dive into so we can learn a little bit more about who we are, why we're here, what are we doing here, and then live in more fun, right? So the change your funk to fun is you get to take the funk word and really use that K, right? So fun plus the K is funk, okay? So something that might be fun actually turned a bit funky. How interesting is that, huh? Yeah. So the gift might be, hey, how about we dive into the K part, which means the key. How about you go unlock yourself with the limiting beliefs that you may have running the programs and running the show in your life right now? Yes. And that's what we will be diving into more. And that's working with your subconscious mind. This is what you'll be learning how to do. And I will be help assisting you with this, of at least discovering more about of who you are and how your life runs and how things work. Okay. This is going to be exciting. So I am so thrilled with you listening. I'm going to be offering things. What I would love for you is to be able to offer for yourself to begin to ask questions. If you can begin to do that and just question things, even question what I'm saying. Perfect. Okay. Because you get to decide what's true for you and then how you would like to be in new ways here. We are being called to grow and to expand and to discover who we are, discover the power of the love of who you are, and to be able to fully open it up so you may live the heaven on earth here. And we will be sharing more, diving more. We're going to explain more with the masculine feminine energies within you. We will need to take a short break. So I'm glad we got started here and we're continuing here, which is beautiful. And we will be back from a short break. All right. So welcome back. You are going to help discover how to change your funk to fun, and how you do that is by discovering the power within you. So the tool that I use is called PSYCH-K. We will actually be talking about that in a little bit later in the show. You will find out what is PSYCH-K, which is maybe a key piece, a missing piece, PEACE, missing inside of you, which actually is really there. It just has been blocked or separated or hidden. Okay, so we're going to invite that part in with you. All right. So in order to change your funk to fun and to discover your power, a key piece is to actually begin to notice that you actually have a masculine and a feminine side within you. We all do, whether you're a man or you're a woman. So for me, I'm a woman. So most people would think, well, then you're just feminine. Well, actually, I'm not. And neither are you. Oh, interesting, huh? Yeah. And actually, I was taught to be quite masculine most of my life before actually PSYCH-K came into my life. So you'll be learning about the gift of PSYCH-K and what a precious, unconditional love, energy field this is, and a tool you can use to help greatly assist yourself in the power of you within you to unlock that, to live in more love and joy and peace. Yeah. So I was raised, I just talked about earlier that my dad was Lieutenant Colonel in the Marine Corps. I had a very fun, loving mom, and yet she used the coping skill of denial. So she pretty much endured a lot and kept things, well, just making sure everybody's okay, taking care of 12 kids, of course, right? And my dad, who'd be gone, get her pregnant and then go off, to another part of the world, and then she'd have another baby. They even moved 14 times. How amazing is that? Yeah. Well, I learned the first 7 years of my life, and you did too, everything that my mom and dad taught me. How interesting is that? And my siblings and my school teachers. We get fully downloaded our first 7 years, okay, of life. Especially the first 2 years is a complete download. 2 to 6, we're in more of the imaginary way of being. But things are still very literal. So within myself, the funk started happening when I took things way too personal. So I definitely had a lot of the victim energy, and I was definitely in a lot of fear. My mom would say, "Oh, just wait till your dad gets home," right, to try and control all of us and all of our goofiness with all the kids running around. So what did I do? I was scared to death when my dad came home, right? So I was afraid of my dad. Now, how interesting is that? My dad actually, his heart was quite closed off to me, is how I felt. He had an open heart to my mom, loved my mom. He kind of tolerated the kids, and he did the best he could. I understand that. All of our parents do. And yet, it does affect us. So the key comes in is when you can allow yourself to open up and start being brutally honest with yourself and recognize, yeah, I had some crappy things happen growing up. Yeah. Okay. I had to admit that too. I actually thought I had a perfect life, believe it or not. When my mom helped program me with that, right? Because she was in denial and thought she had a perfect life, right? So I was like, even my teenage years and young adult years, I thought I loved my family, so I thought I had this perfect life. And then, holy crap, things started unraveling. And this might be happening for you too. The emotions start coming out, especially now, and especially what we just went through for the last 3 years, is that, the feminine part of us is our emotional part of us. How about that? Yeah. The masculine part of us is our logical side, the one that takes action, is execute things, is individualized, likes to do its own separate self stuff. The feminine side within us is the part that loves the wholeness, loves the connection, loves that oneness, loves the spontaneousness and freedoms, okay, that we have. And the gift is that we're meant to dance in the dance of life with both, with the masculine, feminine within us. Yes. And we actually are divine spiritual beings here. A lot of us weren't taught that. Many of us probably grew up in a religion, and I did, and you might have too, or no religion. It could be science or nature or something else. But we did come up with something which formed our beliefs, formed our values, and formed our viewpoint and ways of thinking. And what happens to us is our subconscious mind, which is the recorder part of us, records all of our interpretations of all of the experiences that we've ever had. And it keeps a download of it, and it helps you run your body and run your life in an automatic way. So most of us are living automatically. Okay. And if you're anything like me, you could be, because I believe that most people in the 20th century definitely had their masculine part of them programmed to run as the main operating system. That's what happened with me. So I ended up being a tomboy. I loved sports. That was kind of cool. But yet I was taught to be a doer. My dad said to me, hey, you cry, I'll give you something to cry about. I'm like, whoop. So I sucked up my feelings. I rarely ever cried because I knew I'd get a spanking. I'd be hurt, if I did cry. So I learned to be tough. I learned to put my armor on. But what ended up happening is I actually closed off my heart. And that's actually where our true power is in our hearts, in our love. Wow. Yeah. And you might have too. And it's okay. It's the experience that we chose to have here. The gift is that we get to change any of this now. And so I'm so grateful PSYCH-K did come into my life to help bring back that feminine energy within me again, which is really who I am. Whether you're a man or woman, you both have the feminine too. For myself being a woman, heck yes, time for that part of me to come anchor in. And that's actually the purpose of why I'm here, is to help actually with humanity, to start bringing in our feminine aspect of us, that this is an equal part. It's just as powerful. It's just different. The feminine part within us is the part that is in the beingness. It's a bit slower. Yeah. How about that? Just to be, to pause. To hold the space, to connect. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, to be in that oneness, to actually live in the flow, to actually be completely connected with your divinity, which means you are connected with the whole universe, and Mother Earth, and nature, and everyone. So in the highest realms, it's exciting beyond measure. But in the dense realms, it can be a little tough. And you're like, what the heck is going on here, right? Yeah. So we will be talking. We will need to take a short break in just a moment. We want to come back, that's for sure, because we're going to be diving in more of how you can change this, okay? Because, yeah, there's a way that you can actually unite this masculine feminine within you, clear out those programs that no longer serve you. Yeah, so that you can live in more harmony and peace. All right, so let's dive in some more. So we were talking about the masculine feminine energies within us, and that we are actually being called to unite these parts of us greatly during this time. In that piece, in order to have the unity within yourself, we call it, with using the tool of PSYCH-K, which you're going to learn about in just a little bit, is that you get to be able to have yourself go into what's called a whole brain state. So what does that mean, huh? Yeah. All right, well, let's dive in more. Your left hemisphere of your brain actually operates like the masculine energy. It's your logical side. It works with words. It sees the individual aspect of yourself because you are unique and an individual separate from other people, or at least you believe you're separate from others, okay, or different than others, right? Oh, yeah. And the left hemisphere is the one that likes to break things down into parts. That is actually easier to learn, is when you can break things down into parts, okay, to get one little part of those pieces together. It likes to analyze things. The masculine part of you actually lives in the past, present, and future, meaning it believes there's time here. We believe there's time here, right? Because there was a past an hour ago, and I am in the present now, and I'm going to have a future in a few moments, right? This is the game and the joy that we get to actually slow down the highest essence of oneness consciousness, so that we get to experience in a linear fashion. So your left hemisphere of your brain is the parts of you that operate in this way. Well, you also have a right hemisphere of a brain. Well, how about that? We do have two parts of our brain, our left side and our right side. Yeah. The right hemisphere of your brain is more, some would call your yin side in Chinese medicine, or your feminine side of you. And this is the part that sees pictures. So pictures can serve 1,000 words, right? If you have a picture of something, you might get 1,000 words in there. Yeah. It's the part of you that is actually helps you stay connected with your divinity, which is your spiritual aspect, your soul, your spirit and your soul. And it connects you to everything else. So literally, we actually are all interconnected. And at the highest level, we're actually aspects of each other. And that's a pretty amazing part. We'll talk more about that as the episodes continue here. And where you can receive the gift and growth opportunities that each one in your life is bringing you. Even the funky stuff. Okay? Yeah. Especially the funky stuff. Yeah. Well, so, and the feminine part is that spontaneous, free aspect, the childlike, the innocence, the wonder, the play, the curiosity, right? Yes. We had that when we were children. I hope you had that when you were a child. I did. I loved to climb trees. I loved to go discover, and I'd love to go off on adventures, even as a little one. And but then what happens to us when we become adults, right? Well, you got to get a job, you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to do that. I don't know. Maybe you didn't hear that. I heard that. I basically was told, you got to take care of yourself. That's what I was told, which is actually awesome. I was actually very grateful, and I appreciated kind of the toughness that my dad, offered for me. Although there are pieces that I definitely had to heal within me, because I felt quite hurt, and definitely all the fear. He was a heavy drinker. He went to Vietnam and came back, and that was his coping still, was drinking a lot. So, I have kind of crazy memories, funky memories, where he would beat the crap out of my brothers. I would run and hide. I'd be really fast and dart away. But those are scary, crazy memories, right? So what happens is that our feminine side and our masculine side within us start overemphasizing one hemisphere of your brain over the other. This is what happens in our body. How interesting is that? We don't know this stuff until you dive into the research, like brain split research, or Jeff Fanning. There's others. We'll talk later about how you can get to some of that research if you'd like to learn about that. But the thing is that we end up overemphasizing one side of us over the other. So we get out of balance. We go into disharmony, within ourselves, which then creates internal conflicts within us. And then literally, for myself, especially, my masculine side and feminine side were fighting with each other. Of course. I didn't know that at all. I thought it was only everything in the outside world, which most of us do. We think the outside world is the outside world. But actually, the outside world is everything based on your inner world. What? Yeah. Literally, we are the creators of our life. Everything happening in your outside world is actually based on the beliefs you have at the subconscious level of the mind. What? Yeah. And it's subconscious, so you're not even conscious of it. Interesting, huh? Well, and that's the gift of life. Life gets to show you what you believe. How about that one? So, if you are frustrated in relationships, I know that's a big one. It could be a relationship with money, a relationship with people, a relationship with your time. It could be a relationship with maybe finding your purpose, things like that. Oh, interesting, huh? A good thing to do would be to check in to see how is your relationship within you, within your masculine and feminine parts of you. How much are you actually operating both in a wholeness way, connected with your divine aspects of your inner truth and your inner guidance, along with your logical side and the side of being really human here in your own individual self? This is what PSYCH-K helps you with, which is absolutely amazing, to unite these two. So you create the bridge. The bridge all opens up, okay, so that you get to have the crosstalk and you get to have your masculine and feminine actually begin to hear each other and listen to each other and dance together and begin to work in more harmony and peace and joy. Yes. How you do that is by clearing the resistance or clearing the traumas. Yes. The hurt parts within us. Absolutely. And those are actually just parts of us that we segregated from. We actually, I know for myself, I definitely did. I hid parts of myself, which I never wanted to see again. Oh, heck yeah, because it was hurt. I had traumatic things happen to me. I was raped as an 8-year-old girl. One of my dad's friends came to visit. He was a Marine. And yeah, that experience happened to me. Yeah, which totally affected my self-worth, my self-identity. I didn't feel safe in this world. I felt very violated and humiliated. And who do you even talk to? I wouldn't even tell my parents because I was afraid of getting in trouble. And I felt the shame. I was totally in the shame. Okay. And then, oh my goodness, life does present things with you for what you're going to wrestle through and go through. Well, the gift is that you get to actually access these parts of you where you have been traumatized or hurt, or you don't. For me, what came in for me then is I felt like there was something wrong with me. Wow. And that's what, with this gift of PSYCH-K, which we will be talking about, yes, in the next section, then we will be dropping in of how do you do that? And how did I do that for myself? And then how can you do it? Excellent. So now we get to find out what is PSYCH-K. Oh, thank you for asking. PSYCH-K is an easy and effective way to rewrite the software of your mind so that you may change the printout of your life. Yes. It's similar to you giving yourself access to a keyboard. How about that, huh? Yeah, if there's things that are frustrating you, challenging you, or you're just tired of, especially the patterns that keep repeating themselves, and you probably, like me, have done other things to try and help yourself, but you still haven't been able to change them. You're like, what the heck, right? Yeah. PSYCH-K is actually a tool here that helps you do exactly that. Remove that resistance. Remove the blocks that are limiting you from being able to go create the life that you would love to live and how you would love to experience here. Yeah, it really is true. And I know maybe some of you might think, oh, it can't be that true. It can't be just something that easy or that effective. Yeah, well, it actually is. And it actually has been around for 34 years. Yeah. And if you're just listening to this for the first time, oh, that means you may be ready for it. It actually comes and finds you. It found me. I didn't know anything about PSYCH-K before 2009. So how about that? And what happened for me is my husband was diagnosed with leukemia. And at the time, he was 45 years old. His dad died the month he turned 50 from complications of cancer. And his oldest sister died the month she turned 50, complications of cancer. So for my husband, he was 45. He might have had a belief inside of him that he was going to check out too, because guess what happened to him too? This will happen to many of us. We'll think, oh, it's just in our family, or I might just get that. Or it might have been his fear of, oh my gosh, what if I do get it? And then sure enough, it does. What we call that is that there's actually a placebo effect and a nocebo effect within us. I mean, this is what runs in the subconscious mind. If you are running on fear or things you don't want to have happen and you keep focusing on that, wherever your focus is, that's where your attention goes. And that's actually what you will create in your life. So for my husband, okay, he created that in his life, and that's what happened to him. So at the time, I was a birth nurse. I loved helping moms have babies. I really did. Night shift nurse. I would burn the candle at both ends and stay up all night helping mamas have babies. And then I had 4 of my own. Joined in with them. Yeah. Well, I was like, oh, heck yeah. No, we got 4 kids. You don't need to be checking out too soon. Because cancer is a gateway to let people go. If you don't want to live, then that's one way your cells will close off. You stop receiving. You close yourself off from receiving the love and the life force energy that is actually coming in through you and in your cells. And you can actually change it. And so within that year, Bruce Lipton's book, Dr. Bruce Lipton, showed up in my life. Yes, he did. There was a book my nursing friend was reading, and it was right there on my desk at work, Biology of Belief. Oh my goodness. And as soon as I saw that book, I said, I need to read that book. I didn't know why. I didn't know how. I just knew I needed to. And Dr. Bruce Lipton is amazing. Highly recommend you go check him out on YouTube. His life has been absolutely transformational. But for him, he studied stem cells and cell biology. And the cells taught him that it's not our DNA or the lineage in our family. There are patterns that happen in our family, but the patterns are based on the subconscious beliefs that we have. And that's what the cells taught him. It actually is our environment. And it's actually, we are literally like radio stations, and that you get to turn the station to what you want. Okay. And then PSYCH-K helps you actually turn it to, more flow, love, peace, and joy. How nice is that? And living more in paradise on earth. Yeah. So I read Bruce's book. At the end of his book, he basically said, get your butt to a workshop. And I said, all right, Bruce, I'm going, right? Yeah. I could feel it. He's like, get yourself there. And within 3 months, there was one that showed up right by my home, of course. So it may show up for you too. And we'll be talking in just a little bit of, I was actually then later on called to be a PSYCH-K instructor. So we'll talk soon about that. But at the point that I read the book, I was a birth nurse and very happy doing that. So I went to the workshop. I learned it to help my husband, and he wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, funny, right? I didn't realize that I was an enabler. I was a rescuer. It was all my coping skills. I was a lever of my body, and even trying to merge with other people. We'll talk more about all those little coping skills, survival patterns that we have embodied to survive here. But the funny thing is I said, all right, well, I'm going to get really good at this about changing your beliefs within you so that when he is ready, we'll be able to roll, right? I thought I was doing pretty good. I didn't think I needed it, actually. How funny is that? Yeah, because I received the downloads that my mom had, and that's of denial. I used that very well. I thought, no, I'm doing good. I was self-sacrificing, helping everybody else, but not addressing the things that I actually needed. So PSYCH-K was such a precious gift for me to begin to work with myself. And that is actually what it's meant for, is to work with yourself first. So I began diving in within me. And the change process is very simple. It's a 7-step process for most of the changes that you make. And and oh my goodness, all the emotions came out. I'm like, what? Those are the things that I closed off within me. I thought it was safer to not be feeling my emotions. PSYCH-K was the most precious gift for me to actually unite my masculine and feminine within me, become more in a whole brain state, which means my full potential is actually able to flow. I was able to transform the fears that I had, the traumas. I transformed my perceptions of those into peace and non-attachment. I have used PSYCH-K every day for the last 13 years. Yeah, because it's a beautiful tool to have. Oh, heck yeah. And I'm so grateful, especially with all the times that we have been going through, especially these last 3 years. I'm thinking, now I know why PSYCH-K showed up for me, is for these times right now. So in my journey, within about 4 or 5 years of using PSYCH-K, I was led to the higher levels of PSYCH-K, and then basically my spirit, I was able to open the channels of my spiritual aspects of me, which I actually didn't have open very much before that. So now I can hear the higher aspects of me. I've opened up gifts of consciously channeling and all kinds of other stuff. We'll talk more in other episodes with, but you actually have gifts too. And we're meant to open up in beautiful spiritual ways, to have fun and wonder. Fun. Yes, have fun and play and be innocent here. Yes. So my spirit led me to become what's called a certified PSYCH-K instructor. I'm one of 35 instructors across the world. We're all planted all over the world to help assist each one of you that's ready for the changes you seek. Yes. You get to come to a 3-day workshop, and you get to go make the changes that you are ready for. And it's personalized for you. That's the gift. You get to go at your own pace. You get to go at your own speed and your own level of vulnerability. I did not want to be vulnerable at all. I was scared of that, and it still worked for me. I just went one step at a time, whatever I was able to make the changes with. You learn how to ask key questions, and it literally is a spiritual tool that helps you reprogram your mind so that you can see it from a whole viewpoint and let yourself work together within you instead of having internal conflicts within you. You get to be more in the flow. Okay. And we'll be talking more and more episodes. Rob Williams is the originator of PSYCH-K. He actually had this received as a download for him. His story is amazing, how he received this 34 years ago, and he's been a huge gift to keep it sacred and pure, and it is. So how do we have more fun in our life? How can we bring more fun into our life? That is a great question to ask yourself, right? So a big one will be to ask yourself, how much fun are you having? How much fun are you letting yourself have? Okay. We will definitely be tying in about PSYCH-K. That can definitely help with this. It definitely did for me, and it has done for hundreds of thousands of people across the world. And it can do it for you too. Okay. Can we just admit that a lot of us are way too serious here in this world? Oh, heck yeah. Kind of amazing. I've actually done research with this, that children 4 years old and younger laugh at least 400 times a day. Yeah, 400 times a day. Yeah, laughing. Exactly. Letting yourself giggle, letting yourself play, letting yourself know you're free. And then you get to experience it in your body and actually in your life. And fun, maybe even ask yourself, what is fun? What is fun for me, huh? Yeah. Because it actually will be individual for each one of us, right? I know for me, fun is I do love to do adventurous things. I do parkour with my son. My son loves parkour, and he's inspired me to come do some parkour. Yeah, and as an adult, I get to do parkour, which means I jump. Yeah, I'm not jumping on buildings yet, but jumping over buildings, on buildings. But I love to climb up walls, and I love to learn how to move my body. With parkour, we do, it's called movement in spite of obstacles, which means wherever your obstacle is, it's okay. It's just an obstacle. I'm going to learn how to climb over it, get over it, move with it, and keep on moving. And how beautiful is that? That's how we're meant to live in our life. When you can finally realize that you don't ever have to have anything ever block you anymore or limit you anymore. No, not at all. Because the limits that are there, or the funkiness that's there, is actually there for you. Believe it or not. Wow. Yeah. The fun just may have turned into funk, which means there's a key there. How interesting is that? Let's discover, what is that key, huh? What is that key? Yeah. The key is the power of love within you. So if you have anything funky happening to you, which could include traumas, challenges, frustrations, blocks, limitations. Yeah. Funk. Okay. Call it funk. Guess what? You have the key to unlock that. What that means is that you get to, if you are able to allow yourself, these are some things that you can begin to do, is to begin to notice it. I know for myself, I had a journal. I still have journals. I have quite a few journals, actually. But get yourself a journal or a notebook, okay? And then start capturing it. Start writing it down. And you can even ask me, hey, what funky is happening in my life, okay, right now? There you go. Start writing it down. Funkiness, I think, is like, what don't you like? You know, what's like, oh, that's like weird, you know? Or you can get really into the frustration parts, or the anger parts, or the sad parts, the shameful parts, like I did. I deep right down into shame and guilt and fears and even worries, right? These are things, what are you worried about? You can all encompass this as funk, okay? Because at the highest level, you can just call it funk, which really means it's actually the key to where your funness is. Believe it or not, fun. Yeah, exactly. Because once you can discover and be able to remove and transform limitations and blocks within you, and that's at the subconscious level of the mind. This is what PSYCH-K helps gift you with. Because it's where your subconscious mind works 40 million bits per second. It's a very fast, accelerated processor. Okay. Yes, so that you can unlock and help yourself be childlike again, to know you're free again, know you're safe, know that you're worthy and that you matter, and that you are vital and important here. Every single one of you are. We are like the piece of the puzzle, and you are a very vital piece. You may not know that at the subconscious level or believe that fully yet. And if you don't, we invite you to come discover that. especially with the tool of PSYCH-K, which I'll be offering soon about how you can learn more about that, right? Because that's what it's done for me. Yay, which is awesome. Oh, I love it. So yes, so ask yourself, so you can write down all the things that are bothering you, challenging you, maybe your negative self-talk. How are you talking negatively with you? And then the gift comes in is once you bring it out, whether you speak it or you write it down, the gift is you have something you can use it for now. Okay, you're gonna switch now and start discovering what moves within you. Where are your heart's desires? What would you love to have be in a new way instead of the way you're actually living now? You actually have the solutions within you. You have the answers within you. We just weren't told this. No, we didn't get this told. I know I didn't get this told when I was younger. Not at all. I kind of got the exact opposite. That everything's outside of you. You got to go find it. You got to go get a bunch of, degrees, or you got to go get listen to these experts and blah, blah, blah. Go listen to everybody else. Wow. Well, maybe you can start beginning to wonder, maybe you actually have the answers within you. Yeah. And you actually do. You are a divine, wise soul who chose to live this human experience here now with all of us, which is awesome. And if you would love to have more fun like I do, then come join our ride. What we get to do with learning how to have fun is give yourself the invitation to, if you might be experiencing things like you're on a pirate ship, like kind of I felt like I was in, or a battleship. Yeah, that too. Definitely had the battleship thing going. Yeah, but guess what? It's in your free will choice that you get to make these changes. And the gateway to do that is courage and willingness. Yes, that is the amazing gateway. When you make the decision to say, I'm done with this, I'm tired of this, or whatever happening, perfect, because that's why it's there for you to wake up to who you are and the power you are and the love that you are within you, okay? Which is amazing. So, and then yes, the beautiful thing is you're going to be learning more about PSYCH-K to see if this will be, PSYCH-K is like a sailboat, okay, that's coming by your little battleship and your pirate ship experiences you may be having, and say, would you like to come on to the sailboat? And that's what this invitation is here for you, okay? And if you say yes with your courage and willingness, and we're going to share what you can do for yourself with PSYCH-K, then jump on board the sailboat. I actually love to sail. I love to sail. I'm in the Great Lakes. I'm in Michigan, the Mitten State, okay, which is gorgeous waters. That, yes, you get to go in the sailboat and then let that take you to the paradise, the heaven on earth. This is here for us. And maybe even the love boat too. So how are you able to discover and let PSYCH-K be an amazing, precious gift for you in this transformational time right now? Yay! Well, good. You get to find out. There's two ways you can let PSYCH-K help you. One is you can have a private session with a PSYCH-K facilitator. I am a PSYCH-K facilitator, so you're definitely welcome to come onto my website and look. You can watch some of my videos, learn a little bit more, and then book a session with me. And we will be talking that you can first contact me if you want. And on my website, I will be giving my website out. It's actually, I'll give it now. How about that? IgniteAndHealYourLife.com. IgniteAndHealYourLife, LIFE.com. IgniteAndHealYourLife.com. You are igniting your inner power of love within you. And the healing is you're really healing, like helium is elevating you to your next highest level of consciousness, and that's of your love. And I greatly help assist you with that. And I'm grateful that I can do that because I've done it for myself and many others. Okay. So if you'd like to have a private session with me, you can. What will happen in a private session is I mostly work with people on Zoom. If you live in the Metro Detroit, Michigan area, United States, you're welcome to come to my home for an in-person one too. Majority of the people meet me from through Zoom, and it still works wonderfully. So with PSYCH-K, we work with the higher aspects with you. Your spirit connects with mine and actually speaks through me, which is really beautiful. So if you'd love to hear your higher self talking with you, my system is able to do that. And then you'll be able to make the changes that you're ready for in an amazing, effective way and it's everything of when you're ready for it. When you're ready, it's everything. Okay. So when you're ready, reach out. and have a private session. That's if you want the changes right now, okay? And you're ready to do it, perfect. You could have a private session. And then there also are other PSYCH-K facilitators too. So you can even reach out to me, and I can help. If you would rather work with somebody else than me, I can help you with that too. But I'd love to work with you, which would be awesome. So the other way is if you are ready to learn it like I was. I went right in and learned it for myself. I wanted to have the tool for myself. Then you get to come to my online workshops or in-person workshops. I am actually having an online workshop this weekend. So when you hear this message today and you say, heck yes, I need to come, we still have spots left and you're welcome to come. Just go to my website, igniteandhealyourlife.com. And you'll see that. You'll be able to register. And we use Zoom. You'll click right on and you'll literally learn this tool, and you'll be able to start making the changes within yourself and have this on a daily basis for yourself, like I have. Yay. If you want to work with other people right away, you can go to an in-person workshop where you get to actually work with yourself and others. So like this, I've helped my kids, my friends, family. You get to gift this. You get to eventually charge service for this if you'd like to too. So the in-person workshop, it also allows you to be able to work with yourself and others right away for the format. I will be offering 2 workshops in March in Michigan, one in Louisville, Kentucky in March also. So that's be the next 3 ones that are coming. When you go to my website, you'll see the other places I will be. I'm going to be in lots of really cool places. So April, I'll be in Canada, Toronto, and in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I know May, I'll be in Florida. June, I'll be in Israel. How fun is that? July, I'll be in Alaska. So find the right spots for you. Yes. And then you also, if you go to the PSYCH-K.com website, you can also find wherever you are across the world, an instructor that you're meant to learn from. We want all of you guys to come learn this. So if it's ready, heck yes, jump in. So it has been such a joy to connect with you today. Such a joy. We will be ending shortly again for just this episode. And then I welcome you to next week's episode, 3 o'clock on Wednesdays.